out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man, Kel. I got my squad with me. In effect, as always, my brother, JR, the R&B guru. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Feel good to be back, man. I was gone for about 2 weeks, but we back in it, man.
Yeah, back at it. Right back at it. My brother Spence out of Philly. What's going on, fam?
Man, I'm all good, man. This should be a good show. This should be a real good show.
Yeah, this gonna be a good one because I'm intrigued about a lot of things. But y'all know me, let's jump right into it. So this week's show, we're looking at, I was on Twitter the other day and somebody had posted like, yo, who are your top 5 basketball players who did not win a championship? You know what I mean? And it had me thinking like, yo, that's always a dope convo. Like who could have got it, who didn't get it or whatever. And we're going to talk about that at the end. I want to come back to know who are your top 5 basketball players who never won a chip. But it had me also thinking about what are those MCs who are just so dope, but they don't have a classic album? And we're going to try to dive into why they don't have a classic album or what happened or what went wrong or whatever like that. So that's what we're going to be chopping up about this week. I'm going to just throw the big joker out because I'm sure this person is probably going to be on everybody's list. Probably one of the most polarizing MCs, which is crazy because it's been 6 years since he dropped the album. But I feel like you can't really go a day online without hearing Jada Kiss's name, namely because of the Joe and Jada podcast and everything like that. But I feel like Jada is that one of those, if not top 1, top 3 of MCs that have the talent. Jada to me checks every box as an MC, but he just doesn't have a 5 mic album. He's had 5 albums: Kiss the Game Goodbye, 2001, Kiss of Death, 2004, The Last Kiss, 2009, High Five, 2015, and then I didn't even know how to pronounce this. Ignatius, I guess, 2020. So 5 albums. And like I said, that last album was 2020. And it's weird because, like I said, I saw that and I was like, damn, Jada ain't had an album out in 6 years. Like, it don't even seem that long. But to me, Jada is that way. And for me, and I want to know y'all expectations of these people too. When Jada first dropped, I expected multiple classics. Like, I expected Jada to just have a plethora of classics. I expected, if we go back to 2000, I'm expecting we'd be sitting here 26 years later talking about, damn, how many classics does Jada have? Not, he don't even have one. You know what I mean? So, and for me, I think the hard part with Jada, for me at least, is I think he got signed during that time. It was this weird time in the industry where street rappers were getting deals, but then the label was trying to make them make radio songs. You know what I mean? Like Spence from Philly, Cassidy. You know, for people who don't know, Cassidy number one, lives across the street from me in Philly. You open my mom's door, you see his mom's door. But he came up battling. We saw the Freeway Cassidy battle. If you saw the mixtapes and you was definitely in Philly, he was called the Boy B. You know what I mean? His name wasn't even Cassidy at that time. Just coming up in that era, and then for me to hear Hotel was the first single, it's like, whoa, this ain't it right here, bro. This isn't a reflection of what I've been talking about. And it's similar to me with Fab. For a lot of people from Brooklyn, a lot of people was getting at me like, yo, Fab Sport gonna be this boy. And it's so funny because how they both had different names before they got signed. And it was like this reputation. You got to hear Fab Sport on the Clue tapes and woo. And then I think the first time I heard Fab was the Superwoman joint with Little Mo, whatever. And I'm like, this the boy y'all Brooklyn niggas is talking about? Like, so I feel like Kiss and them all came up in this era where they was looking for these mixtape rappers, but then you just signed them to try to make them make radio songs. And I felt like with Jada, he's always trying to make this album to appease everybody. He's going to make 3 club songs and 3 songs for down south and 3 songs for the West Coast. And then every Jada album probably has 3 to 4 songs that I really fuck with. You know what I mean? But none of them just have ever come together. Whereas you look at Green Lantern's mixtape, The Champ Is Here, bro, that's a 5 mic mixtape to me. You know what I mean? The Champ Is Here is what had me hyped for Kiss the Game Goodbye. Because that The Champ Is Here mixtape is, to this day, there's so many quotables. What do you say? Fuck something. I parallel park on the track. I say, God damn, this nigga said he parallel park on the track. Like, but so for me, that's it for Jada. JR, does Jada make your list of MCs who do not have a classic album?
I got mostly R&B stuff, but I had Jada on as a MC that didn't, because you see that all the time. And for me, I was hoping when he came with Kiss Goodbye, I was like, okay, this is going to be, and then I was like, ugh. Yeah. so it's like he's definitely, on my list as far as MCs that doesn't have a classic album. So I agree with that one.
What do you think, for you, in your eyes, what do you think kept him from being able to do? Because do you think he has the capabilities to make a classic album? Like, does he check all the boxes for you, or?
He does, as far as fitting and all of that. Like, as a top MC, yes. But you kind of explained it. I think when you kind of take an artist out of their comfort zone for real, and you say you need a commercial joint, that ain't Jada. You know what I mean? So you're forcing him to really do something that's not really him. So then you're getting all of these other joints that is like, nah, okay, I see what they were doing there, and I see what they were doing there, and that's not him. You know what I mean? So I think he does check, but some of them songs, I was just like, oh no, what is this? But I was like, I get it. You know what I mean? I was like, right. I get it, but
Right. Spence, what about you? Would Jada make your list?
Oh yeah, definitely he'd make my list. But I think too, you gotta think Jada came from the bad boy camp. Mm-hmm. So he came from that formula of Big doing that, Mace doing that. And so, and I think he was also, and not saying he was wrong, I think he was chasing that success of trying to be that MC, that 5 mic MC that can do everything. And sometimes some MCs just naturally able to do it, like Big. He was just naturally able to do it. Then you have some MCs, when you hear him do a certain song, it just don't feel right. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it falls for him. So that's when you get the first album, you got the down south joint, you got this joint, you got the club joint, and like even when he did the wide joint, he kind of, you were like, oh damn, this joint kind of sounded all right for Jada.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And it's funny because I'm thinking, JR, from when you said Kiss the Game Goodbye, I remember hearing We Gonna Make It on a mixtape, and I was like, yo, if this is what we about to get here, We Gonna Make It, because to this day, We Gonna Make It, this song is 26 years old, and I still see niggas lose their shit if We Gonna Make It come on. As soon as that fuck, that frail shit, like as soon as it, it comes in again, the quotables, all those things. And then like you said, with the next album, I think why was off the next album, it's like he always gave you those glimpses, but it was like, he's that basketball player that you like, like out of 82 games, like 20 games, he looks incredible. And it's like, but where the other 62 games? Like if you could put that together for a whole season, you could be that dude. And then I think the other thing that keeps Jada's name out there, that Dipset versus joint. You know what I mean? I think that alone has him cemented. Like Jada was already talking that top 5 Dead or Alive shit prior to the verses. After the verses, you know what I mean? When you had him in that Kobe joint with the jacket on, everything like that, it basically was like he cemented. But that is like if I had a hip hop wish, is like I do want Jada to have that 5 mic classic boom bap album for us. And I forgot, Spence, do you remember I heard word got the air that he was working on an album with somebody, but I can't remember the producer. Like it was,
I never heard.
yeah, it was. I heard this year too, but I can't remember who it was. But that would be a hip hop wish for me. On the R&B side, and I got two R&B dudes here with me, so I want to see what y'all think about this. I got Case.
He's on my list.
Okay.
Yep.
Case, again, my expectations from Case was at least one classic. Like with Jada, I thought it would be multiple. With Case, I thought I would get at least one because he would give you so many classic songs. You know, Touch Me, Tease Me, Happily Ever After, Faded Pictures, Missing You. Like, these are songs I absolutely love, but I mean, his debut album in 96, K's Personal Conversations, 99, Open Letter, 2001. I didn't realize the boy had out 7 albums, truth be told.
I mean,
dead ass. Like, I think that's a lot of things with R&B, for me at least, JR. I know you keep your ear to the street, but I thought after Open Letter, it was a wrap. I ain't know nothing about the Rose Experience, Hear My Love,
Heaven's Door.
Yeah, Heaven's Door and Therapy. I was sitting here like, oh shit. And I think that's it's messed up because I don't know where you would find that out at. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, we'd be watching 106 in Park. Case would come on, tell you he got a new album. You on the radio, you hear an interview. Oh, Case got a new album. Like I just happened to be on the gram the other day and I seen Glenn Lewis got an album dropping tonight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's almost like if you're not really tapped in and you ain't on the gram at the right time, it'll just fly right by you. But yeah, I just thought Case. You know, Touch Me, Tease Me was my shit. And then, you know, Personal Conversation with Faded Pictures and, you know, Happily Ever After. It was just like, yo, I think this boy, you know what I mean? He's dope enough to at least have one classic album, but didn't have any. So I got that. JR, who you got up first for your joint?
Oh, okay. I guess.
Or did you want to go over Case too, or you want to save him?
Yeah, I mean, with Case, I agree with you. I think when it comes to R&B, and there was a lot of guys at this time, so Case really had a lot to compete with. So when I heard Touch Me, Tease Me, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, all right, you know what I mean? But when he finally came out with Personal Conversation, which had Happily Ever After on it, I was like, okay, now what am I gonna get? And it kind of fell short. You know what I mean? And then when he came with Open Letter, that fell short. I was like, okay, so maybe he's one of those artists that's just gonna give us some classic singles, and maybe we're not gonna get a great album from him. You know what I mean? Because and it's, again, he had to go through a lot of people, but again, I just think that I wish he would have. You know what I mean? And then I got to see him live too. He's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I expected more, but hey, you gonna do? But he was definitely on my list because I got
right.
So he was definitely on my list. So yeah.
All right, Spence, what'd you think about Case? Did you fuck with him?
I like songs and stuff, but like for me, I'm be honest, making a classic album, I don't expect everybody to give me a classic album. I'm be honest.
Right.
That's
like
right.
it's hard. Like I'm not one of those guys that'll say this person got 7 classics. Like, right. I like, all right, come on.
Right.
Like now we're not like, I mean, and that's the talk the last couple of weeks just on the internet, on YouTube. Like we not even making classic a special thing anymore because
right.
we hear an album and we hear all the songs and they're good and we're automatically, oh, this is a classic. No. That's not
right.
it.
Right. It's funny you said all week I've been going back and forth with Q fans about The Predator. You know what I mean? Because niggas was like, oh, Q got 3 classics in a row. I was like, I'll give you 2. I give you America's and Death Certificate. Yeah. I can't give you The Predator. The mad niggas like, yeah, but the Predator was an incredible album. I'm like, my nigga, you said yourself, it's an incredible album. I didn't say it was whack. It's a very good album, but it's not a classic. If it was a classic, you would have said, nah, Kill, it's a classic album. But you said out your mouth, it was an incredible album. I'm not, but again, this just goes back to if you don't call it a classic, people think you shitting on it. And I'm like, nah, it's a great album, but it ain't fucking Death Certificate. Like, it's not that. Like, come on. So, you know, so like you said, it's like the word is thrown around so much. But yeah, with Case. So who you got up first, JR?
I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna say Chris Brown.
I'm out this conversation. I've never heard of Chris Brown album in my life, so I'm
Really?
gonna just sit back.
So
I've never heard of Chris Brown.
I think Chris Brown definitely had, like, his debut was a good album for real. You know what
Is
I
that
mean?
the one? What was that slow joint that Brian Cox did?
That's what
Can't Say Goodbye.
Say Goodbye.
Right.
Poppin', Give Me That. Like, he got joint.
Right.
But for real, I say is that a classic album from what we define as classic? Right. No. You know what I mean? When you think about Chris Brown's career, I'm not going to go to a certain album and say, well, you go to that album and listen and you're going to get what Chris Brown is. And he doesn't have that to me. You know what I mean? Like classic singles, yes. The Yo record, the Run It record, what else? The Kiss record with him and T-Pain. Like, he got songs. And just because you got 45 songs on the album don't mean that shit is a classic, because that's what Chris Brown doing now. He doing that shit for streaming shit.
Tell me this, how many albums does he have out? I mean, how many albums are in his discography? Do you know?
3, 4, 5, 6. I think 12.
I'm like, nigga, you still counting? This nigga got 12 albums out?
12.
I would have never guessed.
Because, see, again, and that just shows you right there how it's not classic either. Because, again, you would have known about a classic album because we would have been talking about it. But we haven't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You think about Usher's Confessions. We all know Usher's Confessions.
You say what I'm saying. Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can say Usher had a run with 87, My Way all the way to Confessions. That was his run. Those are classic material. Chris don't have that. But them fans will tell you something else. I don't give a fuck y'all. But at the end of the day, they just, he doesn't. But like you said, Kill, and I'm glad you said that in the beginning. You was like, we're not saying that they're bad, but are they classic? No. Like, am I gonna, in 20 years, I'm gonna look and be like, oh my God, that album was classic? No, I might have played it, but that don't mean it's classic to everybody else. I gotta be fair. You know what I'm saying? So I started off with Chris. I just don't think Chris has a classic album at all.
So tell me this, because looking from the outside in, like the fact that this dude is doing stadiums, Dolo,
right,
doing stadiums multiple nights in the same stadium,
right,
the way people going crazy over this boy, I'm just shocked he doesn't have a classic album out, because the attention he's getting warrants that of an artist who would have a classic album out. So what do you think has prevented Chris from having that classic album? Is it the production, the songwriting?
I think, like Spence said, we look at classic albums differently. I know we do, and what this generation does. And he can do stadiums because Chris Brown got songs. You know what I'm saying? So he can perform them all day long. But
and he's a great performer.
Right, and he can perform a song that you might not even like, but you be like, he performing the fuck out of this record. You know what I mean? So he's giving you that. But when we talk about a classic album, no. He got singles for days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the verses, like when they had the verses. But he can do like 20 joints in hell. That's all you need to actually perform a show. You know what I'm saying?
And if you got 12 songs out, you only got average damn near 1.5 song, good song an album to, 2 songs an album to even get you there.
Right. And then some of the features that he got, he can also bring people out and all of this. So that can work for him. So as long as you got a long list of songs, and like you can be a singles artist for real, because that's the age that we're in now, because who's buying albums anymore?
Right.
I think we're taking it back to the 60s again when it was all about the singles. Albums didn't start becoming really the thing until like the 70s for real. It was like, okay, people are giving us bodies of work. No, we're back there again. You throw out a single, you throw out another one, that one die out, you throw out another one, and you got about 5 singles off one album, but ain't nobody talking about the rest of the deep cuts because them shit probably trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, let's go to the next album now. You know what I mean? So for real, even though, like I said, Chris is dope and all of that, he don't have a classic album to me. And I think, Kill, for that, I think I like the fact when an artist will get with a producer and it was just them. And
Yeah,
Chris don't have that.
So who is like, you know how, you know, with Usher it was Jermaine Dupri or Brian Michael Cox, like who is Chris Brown's main producer? Even if it's not primo guru type thing, is there one producer who does the bulk of Chris's music?
Well, I mean, he produces his own stuff, right? But when he came out, he had so many people on an album.
Right. I remember he had Dre and Vidal.
The Underdogs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Brian Michael Cox. He had this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he didn't have a steady producer that was his, that they can lock themselves in the studio and forget about exclusive. He had everybody on there. So it was like he don't have a set producer for real. And then, you know, once he went through, you know, the case he went through, nobody really wanted to fuck with him. So he like, shit, let me produce my own shit. You know what I'm saying? But he still like had Polo the Don and Swiss Beats and the Runners and all of that. But he doesn't have a set producer that you be like, all right, this is Chris's producer, this is who it is. But he don't got that. So that's another thing I feel like he don't have a classic either, because he just don't have that producer and they can sit up in the studio and be like, let's create something. You know what I mean? And let it be majority of us. And yeah, I might get a joint from Polo the Don and I might get this, but majority is you. You know what I mean? Right. And I don't think Chris has that. So maybe that could be a reason why he don't have a classic album for real.
All right, no doubt. Spence, who you got for your first joint?
Well, I kind of went with people that I like that don't have a classic.
All right.
So I don't know. So
that's cool.
Okay. All right. So I actually picked a group that I like early, like maybe the beginning of the 2000s. I was messing with heavy. That's Dilated Peoples. Like they was my group. They was like actually when Gangstar left off, I kind of got into them because they was kind of, you know, had the similar, you know, bloodline for me.
Right.
Dope beats, dope rhymes. And it's okay they don't have a classic to me.
Right.
They got banging albums, banging singles. The performances when I go see them live. I see them at the TLA with Little Brother and them. Fire. I don't know why they don't have a classic, but all the albums are pretty dope to me though.
Yo, it's so crazy you said Dilated. Because they on everything, they were like on the cusp of mine. But I think Expansion Team, I know I got some Dilated in here somewhere, but like Expansion Team, like just like I was really sitting here thinking about it and it just made it. Like I would give Expansion Team 5 mics, but over I was sitting here.
2020 vision over 2020.
I like Expansion Team better than 2020.
Okay.
But they would have. But I was like really struggling with it for a while. Like, okay, I could give Expansion Team 5 mics. Okay. But again, for people who don't know Dilated, and Spence, you're one of the few people I've ever met who fuck with Dilated. Because most of the people I meet do not fuck with them, and I'm just like, I don't get it. You're talking about Alchemist doing the beats for the bulk of it. Evidence, Rocka Our Science is such a slept on MC to me. Like the fact that people don't talk about Rocka is crazy to me. Babu is one of the greatest DJs on the fucking planet Earth. The beats are crazy. And we're not talking Alchemist, no drum Alchemist. We're still talking, we talking we gonna make it type Alchemist type beats. And just incredible for people. Dilated, this album to me is one of the dopest albums like marketed, and it's called Director of Photography. You open the joint up, you pop it out, and you have evidence. Evidence is a photographer, so all the songs, the intros, all the songs, and all the info is on the back of these covers. And I mean, it's just like, yo, you don't. The stuff that Dilated does, it's like, it's not just that the music is dope. I mean, the packaging is dope. Like, whoever came up with these ideas are just crazy. And again, shout out to Rhyme Sayers. Yeah, there you go right there. And yo, Spence is wild, boy. You really the only person I know who fuck with Dilated the way I do.
And I think Evidence got the photography from his mom, I believe. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think his mom was into it or something like that. But
Yeah.
and then Evidence kind of emerged as the because Rocker was like the OG for Evidence, and then Evidence kind of emerged into his own as a soloist, and he just kept going. And even Rocker put out a solo joint. It was cool, but it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Ab, I mean, we'll get in Ab because Ab is like on my.
Okay, because that Cats and Dogs, that almost made my.
Yeah,
Cats and Dogs is right
it's
there.
Right there, yeah. Cats and Dogs, man. Another dope album put together, man. So yeah, people don't know about rhymes, and I get it. Evidence has a very slow flow, very monotone. You may not like his voice, but I think Rocker, kind of balances that out for me at least with that. So no, that's a dope pick. And I was like literally like Dilated may make my list. Next up, I got AZ. You hear Life's a Bitch. Just off that verse, it was like, yo, this is the next one. This to be listening to Nas that we waited so long for, and then to hear AZ, it was like, yo, this is crazy. So again, my expectations for AZ, multiple 5 mic classics. I was like, when Sugar Hill dropped, I was like, okay, this is we got it. So you got Do or Die in 95, Pieces of a Man in 98, Nine Lives in 2001, AZ Addict in 2002, AWOL 2005, The Format 2006, Undeniable 2008, Legendary 2009, Do or Die 2021, Truth Be Told 2023. AZ has had out 10 albums, and to me, just none of them have been classics. And I don't know if I think A needs an executive producer. I think there's a couple of things. I think that, again, at 51, I've learned in life, everything has a gift and a curse, a pro and a con. AZ has this incredible flow, and it's such a gift because it's his flow, but that's all he got. Like, there's really not too much changing it up. It's like, I'm going to pitch the same. My pitch is crazy, but nigga, you getting the same pitch every time. Like, it ain't going to be no fastball, no slow ball, no curve, no knuckle. You getting the same pitch every time I'm on this mound. And I just think for me, it became boring for me. And again, this is no knock, still Incredibles, and then with the production, similar to JR, what you were saying, he never really had that one producer lock into, which if I'm not mistaken, I think this Truth Be Told, I forgot the name of the album him and Buck Wild did. I want to say that was the last album, and maybe Truth Be Told. And I was hyped. I was like, okay, boom, we got it now. This is it. Buck Wild, AZ, locked in, 5 mic classic. Nah. It just wasn't. And it's funny because, off this Nas and Primo album with the joint that they got, and A was on Twitter like, yo, Nas, whenever you ready, I got the beats for us, I got the producers. It's like, no, nigga, you don't. No, stop. Just stop. You don't, my nigga. Like, the last person who I'm letting pick the producers for this Nas AZ album is you, my nigga. No offense, but nah, because you've had 10 fucking tries. You know what I mean? This is almost like for young boys out there, John Elway. I forgot how many times Elway had been to the Super Bowl and just could not fucking win it. To the point that when he finally won, I was happy for the boy, and I wasn't even an Elway fan. It just was like, God damn, this nigga keep getting to the big game and can't win it. You know what I mean? I may not even want to get there. I don't know what's worse, getting to the Super Bowl 4 times and losing, or just never fucking going. I don't know. My personality, I don't even want to fucking go. I'm tired of doing the media and doing all this and just keep losing. So to me, it's like, bro, 10 albums. At this point in time, I don't think he has it in him for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And there may be somebody out there similar to how me and Spence was. Like, I'm giving Expansion Team that nudge to get it a classic. Maybe to somebody, some of these joints are classics. But to me, being 51, the classic, the way that we rate classics, AZ just doesn't have it. And like I said, my expectations were multiple classics, And for people out there who may not have heard Life's a Bitch in real time, nigga, let me explain to you. That was a moment, man. That was a moment right there. We talk about Kiss at the verses. AZ's Life to Bitch, like you just coming off of fucking New York State of Mind, you into it, you hear the Gap Band, and then you just visualizing the realism of life. And it was like, yo, like who is this boy? You know, and yeah, it just ain't there. Spence, what you think about AZ? You say he was on your list.
Yeah, I had AZ on my list, and I know when he came out with the Sugar Hill and we heard him, I was like, oh man, this boy about to be the one. And you know, it didn't happen. The first album was dope though. I did like the first album. And I think too, I think he got caught up in the thing where he was jumping from label to label because like one label folded, then he went to another. And I think he got to the point where he was actually doing a lot of work himself too. I don't know if he really had a team around him. Like Nas had a team. Certain people had a team, so they're able to delegate, do certain things, or pull certain people through to kind of help you with it. So that might have been part of it too, you know.
Yeah, and I think like the first album, there's some highs on that Do or Die for me. Right. Really, like Gimme, fucking Rather Unique, More Money, More Murder. Even the original Your World Don't Stop.
Pete Rock joint.
Yeah. No, the original World Don't Stop was this boy named Spunk Bigger out of Mount Vernon. Spunk, the original joint was crazy. But even with that, like if you would have said, yo, Pete Rock is producing Do or Die, I think we get that classic. You know, I think we get that classic album. But again, I'm sure because even with Sugar Hill, we talk about it on this show all the time. Truth be told, it was the same shit the Trackmasters was doing. You know? Just looping up a song that everybody knows, having some shorty sing over it. But because it was produced by LES, we gave it a pass. And because Miss Jones was singing on it, we gave it a pass. But I promise you, if that shit said fucking produced by the Trackmasters and somebody else was singing on it, we could be talking a whole nother totally different conversation for A. But again, if after 10 albums, you can't make it happen. But I am intrigued because I don't see producers. I can't see a Pete Rock saying, nah, I don't want to produce a whole AZ album, you know, or Premier. Like Premier and AZ have linked up at least, I know the format, it's had to be at least 2 or 3 times they've linked up. So it's hard for me to understand how with that level of MCing and that talent that producers haven't stepped to him like, yo, let's do something together, whatever. JR, what do you think about AZ?
I agree. I mean, I definitely agree. You know, when you heard Life's a Bitch, it was just like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, he's next up. And then when you get his album, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Well, maybe you do it on the second one. Then it's like, well, damn. You know what I mean? So it was just like with AZ, I agree. He doesn't have a classic. And like you said, to be honest with you, with Sugar Hill, he just took Sugar Free and they turned it to Sugar Hill, and that was it. So it was like, okay, we gave a pass. The joint was dope. You know what I mean? And you know, New York was running it, so it was like, all right, cool. But what was different? Like
again, it's so funny because I'm just so intrigued by that, and myself included in this. Because when I heard Sugar Hill, I wasn't like, oh, it's a loop again. I'm one of the very few people on the planet Earth who did not love Life's a Bitch when he heard it because it was just a Gap Band. And because I already knew the sample. I didn't know what the fuck New York State of Mind was or Halftime or any of those other joints. But it's weird, man. I feel like boom bappers, and again, I'm including myself, we pick and choose when it's cool to use a sample or not. Because again, I don't know nobody else who had a problem with Life's a Bitch. Then you turn around and it ain't hard to tell. It's fucking, you got pieces of fucking Michael Jackson Human Nature in that shit. And nobody said anything. You got Sugar Hill, nobody said anything. But then the Trackmasters use fucking, you know, Michael Jackson, Lady of My Life fell out. I was like, oh, here they go again. The fucking Trackmasters. It's some bullshit. And Boys the Men singing. It's like, wait a second, we just, AZ just did Sugar Free and Miss Jones. So again, and again, I'm including myself in that. So that shit is crazy. On the R&B side, I got Dwele. You know what I mean? When Dwele dropped Rise. Like, and a lot of people may not have heard Rise. This was like, I guess, an independent release, but I love Rise. Like, I love it, but it's not a classic. He had Subject in 2003, Some Kinda in 2005, Sketches of a Man in 2008, Greater the One in 2012, and then WWW in 2010. Again, not that I was expecting multiple, but again, I was expecting at least one. Like, when I heard Rise, I was like, yo, this boy Dwele is dope. Like, this is I like this dude. Like, I think he can get there to the point, and y'all may disagree with this. I feel like John Legend's debut album is a classic, the joint that Ye produced. What's the name of that, JR?
Get Lifted.
Get Lifted. I felt like that was a classic, and I felt like
Absolutely.
Dwele, not that he reminded me of John Legend, but like, you know, some way, somehow, not neo soul, but soul. So I was really expecting that from Dwele, and I never got that through these 5 albums that he had. Similar to John Legend, after Get Lifted, I've never gotten a classic album from him again, in my opinion, after Get Lifted. So yeah, definitely Dwele. JR, what you think about the Dwele pick?
Oh God, and I love Dwele too. Like, I am a fan of him, but I gotta be, honest, as much because I love Subject. I love that album.
Subject is
for real. I still listen to it for real, but I just gotta be honest. Is it a 5 mic classic? No. But is it a good album? Yes.
Oh hell yeah! A lot of Rise. If people listening, watching, go find Rise. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Was it commercially released, JR?
It was self-released.
Okay.
And I think you gotta have to go on YouTube and get it. Like, I still like Early Morning. Imagine. What else do I
this
like?
joint right here. This is the Rise joint.
Timeless is on there. I like the last joint, which is Slide Out. That's my joint too. But I would definitely recommend people go and check out like the first 2 albums from Dwele. Like, because the first album he called himself, it was Dwele G.
Yep. You can see it right there on the CD.
Yep, it was Dwele G, and then he went to just Dwele. Because I think that's when he got to the label.
And this is actually 98, not 2000. So this is back in the 90s. Oh. Yeah, this got 98. This joint, 98 on it.
Damn, I thought it came out in 2000. Okay. But yeah, that album is dope. But I agree. I just think Dwele doesn't. And I think, to be honest, Dwele just makes music that feels good to him, which is great. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not searching for that commercial sound and whatever that the label wanted me to, and I think he just does what he wants. But does he have a 5 mic classic? No. You know what I mean? And he's his own producer because he produces his own stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like with that, but when you said it, I was like, oh, he's right.
And it's so funny because with all these R&B boys, like, it seems like with R&B, y'all get 3 albums out of me. And if it ain't a classic by then, I kind of dip. Because I didn't hear the Sketches of a Man or Greater the One or WWW. Like, after Rise, Subject, and Some Kinda, like, I dip. Same way with Case. After Case, Personal Conversation, Open Letter, it's like, if y'all ain't giving me that by now, I'm good. I'll just listen to the singles or whatever, whatever gets to it. Spence, do you fuck with Dwele?
Yeah, I remember the one song, Find My Way, because I remember the video.
Classic.
When he came in the door with the video.
Yes.
So I remember that song. I don't really remember nothing else, to be honest. So I'm going to actually have to tap in.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to tap in.
Yeah, that Rise is a dope joint to start with. JR, what you got up next, bro?
Oh, okay. Ooh, who am I going to go with? I got a list. I'm going to go with Tamia.
Okay.
I love her, but she's one of my favorite voices. It came out, but does she have a classic album? No. But do I like all her albums? Yes. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, it's classic. Now, if somebody tells me, yo, what album would you want, for you? If somebody say, what do you want? How would I introduce myself to Tamia? What I would probably have to do is give you the greatest hits. Even though that sucks, but it's just the truth. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not a sound. And I'm like, even Quincy Jones said it. It was 3 artists that he wished that he would have did right by. He said James Ingram, Tamia, and Tevin. And he said he wished, because he said Tamia's career could have went so differently if he would have did it right. Because, and to think about it, she came out in 95 and you ain't give us an album to her until 98.
And that was that You Put a Move on My Heart joint.
Right, that was on his joint. You know what I'm saying? What is it? The Q joint or whatever that was.
Was that the Q joint?
Yes. And she was on that. Then you put her on Missing You from the Set It Off. So it's like she's buzzing. So by 97, you should have threw something right out at her. But you wait until 98 where she got to go through all of this. And again, music is changing. So now it's like you got to fit her in with the sound is changing now. So it was just, even though her first album is dope, y'all, check it out. New Day, great. More, great. You know what I mean? But it's just like a classic album. No. And that sucks for me to even say, because I'm a fan of her. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I would say, Tamia for me.
If you could put her in the studio with anybody, who would it be? Who do you think could help Tamia make a classic album?
And I'm saying now, okay. As much
or you can because you the guru, you could even say, if you want to say 95 is like peak Tamia, who would you have wanted in 95? You want to say 2001 is peak Tamia, who was popping in 2001? So wherever you think Tamia is her dopest, what producer or producers would you want from that era to fuck with her?
To be honest with you, my favorite album from her is actually the one that she released in 2015, and that was Love and Life.
That's personally my favorite Tamia album. I'm going Poppin' Oak from the Soda and a Sandwich.
Yes,
that's who I would put. I'm actually shocked that's your favorite album, but that's who I would. When I heard, because I've never been a big Tamia fan. I've never been a big Tamia fan. You know me, I was never into that love music. I probably didn't start liking You Put a Move on My Heart till like 5 years ago. And well, because when it came out, I'm in college. Ain't nobody trying to put no move on nobody's heart, nigga. Not. But when I heard that Soda and a Sandwich, I was like, yo, this crazy right here. Like that. So I'm like, is the sandwich and soda or soda and sandwich? Whatever. Y'all know what I mean. S&S. S&S. But I heard that, and that's what kind of sparked my interest. I just think Poppin' Oak. If y'all don't know about Poppin' Oak out of Philly, go Google them. I got a best of Poppin' Oak mixtape, bangers on bangers on bangers. I really would have loved to see those two linked together and do a whole album at that time.
And you know what's so crazy? Because I do love her Between Friends album that came out in 2006. And that one is what Can't Get Enough that Rodney did. And she did a cover.
And who was the producer who she was rocking with? That whole album, like
which talking about just period? Because she definitely
no that album with
she had so many hands on there.
There's a Tamia album that she was rocking with this one producer. I gotta
Chef Crawford.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's her guy for real. Like that's her guy. After her debut, she kind of started rocking with Chef Crawford because he did Stranger in My House.
Right.
He did that, and they started really rocking with each other. So she's been rocking with him ever since New Day. So I think they did very good with Between Friends. Don't get me wrong, but classic.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I feel you. Spence, who you got up next, bro?
I'm gonna actually go back to the 80s on this one. Now this is a group. The MC can get with the best of them. They had dope albums. They can be on be with the best MCs and still rock with them. They sold records. I just don't think they have a classic album, and that's okay because they were just dope anyway. Heavy D and the Boys. I don't think they have a classic album, but they still was competing with some of those groups and those artists at that time. And you could put Heavy D on with Tretch and Heavy D. You see him on Self Destruction. You see Heavy D and still get busy.
Right.
Just they had the songs on the radio. They had the street songs for certain stuff. You know, they just don't have a classic album.
Right. I ain't mad at that. I struggle with for me, Living Large or Blue Funk may be classics for me. You know what I mean? But I understand it because
is it because you know people say it's a classic album, then people say this is their classic. And it's different things.
Thanks, man.
I would say this. I would say in my opinion, it's not a personal classic. In my opinion, growing up, Living Large was like a classic album in my eyes. Blue Funk is probably teetering on a strong 4.5. So that's why, like I said, I can see it. I think would have, especially after have passed. And again, people watching, y'all know Apartment 5B love him. We did a whole
there's no disrespect
2 hour podcast on Hev. This is not that.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. I know, like I said, for me, Living Large, but I can definitely see because we got our own thing out big time. I didn't think that was a classic. I didn't think what was the next one? Journey. Nothing But Love was a bangers. And again, people, when we're talking, you got to understand the language that we're speaking. You know what I mean? Like I'll give an example. I was on Twitter and I said something and this guy popped up and he was like, well, according to Rolling Stones and it was another magazine that's not hip hop. It was like according to Rolling Stones and Billboard, such and such and such, and the record sales. I said, bro, we talking 2 totally different languages, my guy. We're not speaking the same language. So, and he was like, nah, but numbers make the world go round. I said, bro, whatever you want to say, whatever you find your number, find your tribe. Life is about finding your tribe. Go find your tribe on Twitter. For people who want to talk about what Rolling Stone had to say about my culture and how many albums a record sold, that's not my talk. For people watching, when we talk about something being a classic, we're in no way saying that it's not a great album. Right. An album could be 4.5 mics, which is just a 0.5 away from being a classic and that we love. But for us, it's not that. So just understand that we're not talking this young boy language of it's either a classic or trash. Because then people gonna walk away like, yo, these niggas just trashed Heavy D. Like, nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Nobody's saying he's not a classic artist.
Right.
There's a difference. Right. He's definitely a classic artist. But
Hev can hold his own with the best of them.
Right.
Hold his own with the best of them.
Yes.
Right. No, so I feel you 100%, Spence. I feel you 100% because Nothing But Love. And again, you're talking to people who have heard these albums. I know a lot of people who haven't heard a Heavy D, entire Heavy D album, Right Hand on the Bible, since Living Large. You know what I mean? Like, really? That ass, Jay. A lot of people, a lot of hip hop heads that I knew, like, they fucked with that Nothing But Love album, like, because you had the radio songs, you had Nothing But Love, which wasn't like a hip hop banger. But then there was he had a joint on there called Spend a Little Time on Top that Marley did that was crazy on that joint. You know what I mean? And then when Blue Funk came, it was kind of like, okay, here's the boom bap heaven. And people got, truthful, goddamn, truthful.
He started the album with that.
Yeah. Like, and again, like I said, 4.5, but again, Blue Funk just isn't for me. And again, this is the cool thing about our show with Apartment 5B. There's never no right or wrong answers. There's somebody out there right now screaming Blue Funk 5 mic. These niggas bugging. Here's the thing, my nigga. 4.5. It's bickering over a 0.5 mic. Like, y'all act like we said it was 2 mics and you saying it's 5. Again,
that's these albums, so it's not like I don't have these albums.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
And you know what, Spence? That's a great point. He has those albums because there's somebody out there capping right now that don't own shit and is just talking a lot of shit. So y'all already see what's behind me, and niggas don't even. You can almost barely see it. You got this. How I just be grabbing CDs out of nowhere.
That's
so
right.
again,
I actually came down to the Heavy D joint like a couple years ago. Your man, Grae did.
yeah.
I actually was down there for that.
Yeah. So
So it ain't
just
nothing
I
but
want people to
love.
keep that in mind. Right. Yeah. It's nothing but love for him. I will link the Heavy D app in this episode because I get it. After rappers pass away, niggas become overly sensitive. You know what I mean? Because if Heavy was still here, I couldn't see mad niggas being like, "Oh, these niggas is dissing Heavy D," but because he's passed,
not at all. I'm not doing that at all.
That's not it. And then again, I'm the same type nigga that even if you passed, if I thought you was a good MC, you still a good MC. I'm not. You don't get 2 more mics because you died in my world. So that's not that. So I feel you 100% on that, Spence. JR, Heavy D classic albums for you or?
For me, you know what I mean? But as far as I gotta be fair, that's the one thing I am with music. I am fair. At the end of the day, something might be classic to me, but then when I take myself out of it and just listen to it, I'm like, okay. Because like I said on the episode, I love Peaceful Journey. I love that album down. You know what I mean? That was an album that I listened to when my grandma passed. That's the thing for me. But am I gonna call that joint a 5-mic classic? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So for real, do have any me being fair? I have to agree with Spence. Like as much as I'm like, I love Peaceful Journey. Hell, I love Big Time. You know what I mean? I love that record. You know what I mean? But it's just like, is it classic? Is it like, oh yeah, I'm giving that 5 mics off the break? No. You know what I mean?
Now, Heavy got classic songs too.
Yeah. Easy.
That's where I was going, Spence. He got classic joints. You know what I'm saying? But a classic album where you can be like, yo, we all can agree, and we sit here and be like, yo, this is it. You know what I mean? And to me, he just don't have it. But singles, y'all just threw joints out there like that. You know what I mean? So he has that, but I agree with Spence. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I'll tell you that Peaceful Journey, that goddamn Now That We Found Love video with my man in the shower curtain. I ain't like that shit, man. I'm like, my nigga, gee whiz, man. What the fuck, my nigga? Like, you just out here in the shower curtain dancing? Like, and ain't nobody on the video shoot say nothing to this nigga? Like, my God, nigga, you got on a shower curtain.
Grae was in it, so he
I know, but I'm like, my nigga, a shower curtain? This is what we rocking now, my nigga. But yeah, nothing but love the Heavy DG Wiz Eddie F.
Yes, sir.
Next up, I got Method Man. We're looking at 7 albums: Tikal 94, Tikal 2000, 98, Tikal, the prequel 04, 421, the day after 06, the Meth Lab 2015, Meth Lab Season 2, 2018, Meth Lab Season 3, 2022. Total of 7 albums. I think the thing with Meth, you know, when we talk about Tikal, a lot of cats will be like, yo, you know, but the flood. And I'm like, yeah, but he has 6 other opportunities. You know, like, that's the thing. Like, if he only had 1 album out, then we could go and we could die on that hill of the flood is the reason Meth don't got a classic album out. But he had 6 more opportunities to make the classic album. I just think some people on Meth, top 5, if not number 1, in MCs who can give you a dope 16. Same thing with Jada. Like, if I see featuring Meth is going to give you something nasty. If it's on R&B, hip-hop, he had a joint on a Conway joint called Lemon. That nigga skated on that shit, man. That nigga skated on that. You know, so again, you need a 16, Meth is your man. He's like a 6th man off the bench. He reminds me of Vinny Microwave Johnson, used to play for the Pistons back in the 80s and 90s. Vinny come off the bench, dropped 15 with his eyes closed. Jamal Crawford, another boy. Jamal Crawford won 3 6 Man of the Year awards. Another boy. This dude come off the bench, lights you up before you know it. This dude done dropped 24 on you. That is Meth. I just don't know if he has the ability to structure 12 songs with 3 verses apiece, or, you know, I don't even know, because again, after a while I kind of tapped out of these albums. I don't even know if Meth has a dope storytelling joint that like got you on the edge of your seat, like, yo, what's next? Like, I just think that Meth had the voice, he had the Meth is one of those few MCs who kind of had the full package. You know, niggas loved him. Women loved him too. Most of the time, if women love you, the niggas be like, nah, fuck that nigga. Meth was the dude who the women loved, the niggas liked. Everybody fucked with Meth. He had the voice, he had the flow. Like, Meth had everything. But with having everything comes those expectations. So when you look back and you say, well, Ghost got a classic in Iron Man, well, that could be because we had no expectations for Ghost. We knew coming off rip, Meth was the star of Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, you had Protect Your Neck, and the B-side was Method Man. This nigga had his own song. Like, so we already knew what the setup was. And then Bring the Pain was so huge. So your expectations are high. Same thing I was going to say with Styles. Like, Kiss should follow Styles' route, but Styles was able to go his route on the mixtape route because it wasn't no major label expectations for him. You know, it kind of was like Sheik and Styles had to kind of like prove their point to be like, yo, niggas, nah, we nice too. It ain't just Kiss. You know what I mean? So with that, and it's kind of, we talked about this on the show too. When you look at, okay, boom, if you look at the Boot Camp Click, nobody would have called Sean Price, would have been the main nigga 10 years later. Nobody would have said that about Ghostface. Nobody would have said that about State Property. That Freeway would have been a main nigga still. Or we would have been like Beans, Young Chris, Petey Craig. You know, some niggas would say Ashino, you know, but so again, I just think a lot of times we end up with that, damn, how the hell did he end up being the dopest? Was because we really ain't have no expectations for this nigga. And he was just able to make the music he wanted to make. Whereas when you have those expectations, you got to make the music the label wants you to make. And Meth being on Def Jam, which at that time was the biggest label, you know, again, what fucking RZA on, Ghost on Epic on RZA's label. You know what I mean? So Epic gonna be like, do whatever the fuck you want. Whereas Def Jam looking like, nah, nigga, you are cash cow. You about to bring this money in, so you got to do all of this. So I do think Meth is an incredible MC, but again, I just don't think he has it to put together a whole album of everything. And again, my expectations, multiple classics. I thought when I heard Bring the Pain, I was like, oh, this nigga's about to take over the world. You know, when niggas talk about who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, I'm like, nigga, it really would have been who's the best MC, Biggie, Meth, or Nas in 95. Jay pushed his name up in there. You know what I mean? But Spence, was Meth on your list?
He's not on my list, but I got him. I only didn't have Meth on it because I kind of try to avoid certain people that everybody talking about. All
everybody, right.
So I kind of like left those type of people off my list.
Right. What about you, JR?
Oh yeah, Method Man was on my list for real because I kind of tapped out after Tikal 2. To be honest, with that long ass album, this shit had like 28 songs. Like it was like, come on. Like, all right, you know what? And like you said it, Kill. Like at the end of the day, if it says featuring Method Man, R&B or hip hop, you know he is going to slide. Period. You know what I mean? But when you get an album, it's just like the thing is a lot of left to be desired. You know what I mean? It's like you were the one. Everybody knew this. You were the star. So, like you said, it was expectations, and we never got it. It seems like he's better of a full body of work when him and Redman are together. Because I like them more Blackout for real.
But that's you don't have the ability to carry the whole thing yourself, which is okay. Everybody doesn't have that ability. This is why we have a 6-man. Everybody isn't meant to just come off the bench and go with it. And that's okay. I think, JR, this goes back to a point that you were making about Chris Brown. I don't think people really understand how important it is to find that person that you just vibe with musically. You know, to me, it's like if you are an artist, some of the best artists, if we really start looking at either they produce themselves or they had a producer that they could just lock in with. It's almost as important as finding who you're going to go out with or who you're going to marry or who your partner is going to be, because you really do. There's just some magic in that I don't think Meth ever had. So you're kind of always kind of searching for it, and you're searching for it. It's almost like dating. It's almost like making an album is like dating somebody and everybody gets to see it. You know what I mean? Instead of it being like, JR, you may have dated 5 women, but you only introduced me to the one that's like, yo, this wifey right
It's
here.
the one,
You know what I mean? We don't see the other 5 that flamed out or shit. Whereas like trying to make these albums, we're seeing the albums flame out. We're seeing, oh, you tried to rock with him, that ain't work. Oh, that ain't work. That ain't work. You know what I mean? Because there is some, because I really think about, when you really think about it, again, it keeps going back to Nas and Hit Boy. Like, remember, Nas's Achilles heel for years was he can't pick beats.
Right.
He locks in with Hit Boy for 6 albums and gives you what some people, I've seen as many people saying Hit Boy gave him 4 classics in his 50s. In my opinion, he got 3 classics out of Hit Boy. That, like, think about that. That this man's whole career has been, for the most part, he can't pick beats. Nas was never giving you an album every year. He gave you 6 albums in 3 years or something crazy, 6 albums in 4 years, and maybe up to 4 of those albums were classic. That's when you find the right person to lock in with, and you just you could dispel all the rumors, because guess what people don't say no more? Nas can't pick beats.
Real.
You don't hear that shit no more. You ain't heard that shit since KD won.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Facts. So that's how I always tell niggas, you want to shut somebody the fuck up, do what you say they can't, that you can't go left, nigga, let me work on my left all summer. Come back this season, watch me go left on your ass all season. You know what I mean? So again, I think that's the point of locking in, and I think Meth never had that producer who he could just lock in with and just, just make these classic albums. You know what I mean? So I think that's it. JR, who you got up next?
For me, I'm gonna go with another one in 2000 that kind of hurt me bad that he didn't, was Mario. Okay. I expected a lot from him because when he came with the first album obviously was kiddish, okay? Braid My Hair and Just a Friend, all of that was kiddish to get us in the door, right? But when he came with Let Me Love You, I was like, oh,
that was a banger.
All right. We're there.
Who produced that?
Scott Storch and Neo, right?
Neo? Scott Storch did Let Me Love You?
That's what got Neo here, was that record.
I did not know Scott Storch did that, John. I did not know that.
Scott Storch did that record. So when he did that and I heard it, I said, okay, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because this is 2000, this is the end of 2004. We know who's killing it right now, which is Usher's Confession. All over the place. So I'm like, Mario, okay, what we doing? Then I listened to the album and I'm like, oh. I was like, all right, maybe you give it to me on Go. That album got completely, which is my favorite from him, but it got completely, it was, they said it was coming out this date. Then they pushed it back. Then it was all this and all that, and then now he got so many people he got to compete with, which the number one, because he was that guy, the young guy, the R&B dude.
Right.
And Chris comes and just completely takes that over. You got Chris, then you got Trey, then you got Neo comes in, and all these guys are coming in, and it's like Mario get left behind, right? I was like, why didn't he just go in? It's just him, Scott Storch, Neo. I even like when he worked with and Polo the Don, like, and just sit there and lock in. And I think that would have been, he could have gave us a real 5 mic class, and then everybody would have liked it. I Can Love Go down, but y'all don't know shit. Y'all don't even know Crying Out For Me probably on that record. See?
Bro, I don't think I ever heard a Mario album, B. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just keep it a buck with you. When he came out, like you said, and it's funny because T, like, after hearing that Just a Friend and Braid My Hair, she was like, yo, I think he's gonna be special. And I was like, this cornball nigga, fuck. I was like, I don't think this nigga gonna be shit. If you keep it in the buck, he ain't gonna be shit. Nigga, this nigga outside the movie theater over there on York Road, fuck that nigga in the Ravens jersey. Ain't nobody doing that shit. Which is why You Should Let Me Love You was such a huge, I was like, yo, I love this song. But to be honest with you, Kill will pay for the rest of Naomi's undergrad. If you could name 5 Mario songs, I got nothing. I got Just a Friend, Braid My Hair, Just a Friend remix, Braid My Hair remix, and You Should Let Me Love You. I will put that on the table. I got nothing, bro. There's nothing I've ever, even as much as I love You Should Let Me Love You, there's just nothing that ever said, go listen to a Mario album. Like, nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah.
And he got like a big ass forehead. It's like, nigga, nah, nigga. Like, nah.
Stop, yo, stop.
That ass. You know, nah, it wasn't the forehead. He got big ass nostrils. That's what it is with that nigga. That nigga had them big ass nostrils. I was like, yeah, nigga, not the forehead.
His personal life too, man.
Yes, with his
he was
mom.
going through
Okay.
his mom
like
and stuff.
that, so he was dealing with that.
He was doing a lot of stuff
and
personally
I just
too.
wish he kind of would have that on
Tapped into that.
He got this song called "Do Right" on Go,
Mm.
and it's talking about his mom and getting into that. I was like, feed more into that. Let's connect to you as an artist. That's how we get to you when it's real, when we can connect to you. But again, we got labels, we got this, we need a commercial single, we need this, we need that, and it kind of like.
Tell me this, JR, because we've talked about this before. I feel like with R&B, there are certain lanes, and I feel like Chris, if you're saying, are you telling me that Mario and Chris are kind of in the same lane?
Well, Mario to me opened the door for Chris and them to come, because Mario came out first.
Mario. Why am I saying Mario? Because it's Mario Brothers, Mario, whatever. I'll call that nigga Mario. But they're in the same lane, right? Whether whoever started the lane first, they're in the same race. Whether who came out first, because Mario and Chris to me are in a different lane than Dwele and fucking Carl Thomas, in my opinion. Or do you?
Well, speaking, yes, yeah. You're right. With that. Yeah.
I feel like in that Chris Brown lane, to me, it's about, do women find you attractive? You know what I mean? Because the thing with Chris Brown, it's going to be hard to compete with a nigga who girls like and nigga can dance. He gives you all that shit. Versus Mario can't dance. And I mean, I don't know if women were really messing with him like that. Like, I feel like in R&B, that's kind of like the difference. Like, that shit matters. Like, if Chris Brown, you know, JR, there's an R&B singer that me and you and I talk about, and I'll be like, yo, nigga look like a fucking gargoyle. And I think that's the reason why this nigga can't blow up. If Chris Brown looked like a gargoyle, I don't know if this nigga is selling out stadiums, because I don't know if the women want to bang a gargoyle nigga. Or women could just be like, oh, he a cute gargoyle because he on stage and he worth $8 million. I don't know. But I just sometimes think that, like, if women find you attractive and you can dance, and women don't find you attractive and you can't dance, then nigga, you kind of gonna be left out in the cold anyway.
I don't know, because I feel like for this, because Mario was dancing, whatever, the girls did like him. They did.
But I mean, little girls like them. Like little.
Chris, no, but they were damn near the same age. So they're dealing with the same category. You know what I'm saying? Of things.
I don't know, like when I saw, what's the video that Chris had out, the joint that Dre and Vidal did. Love that song. Yeah. I just felt like that is not the same as like Just a Friend.
Well, by then it was like there was first album things there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was first album things there, right? So that's why I said Mario was fine, because Mario came out at the end of 2004. Chris came out in the beginning of 2005. So it was like this new cat, Mario, was already kind of up already. So now we in 2007 where they are grown. Now the girls they're around the same age. Who are we appealing to? They're appealing to the same audience. Chris now has more of a pop audience and kiddish. It was very kiddish. Mario was still grown because he was just singing, to be honest. So they have the same audience. Kind of like, bro, like when we talk about the whole thing with Brandy and Monica and Aaliyah, right? All of them they were the same age.
Same audience, right.
And same everything. They had the same audience, but they were different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but see, this is where we always disagree, because I feel like Aaliyah had a bigger audience because niggas fucked with Aaliyah. You know what I mean? Nobody's trying to fuck Brandy. Moesha, no.
As far as that, yes. As far as y'all, yes. There's nobody
Right,
trying
but
to
like
do
hip.
that.
Right, no. I'm not. I'm just saying hip hop. Like I feel like niggas on campus would have been banging 1 in a million and they whip. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They would have been
Absolutely.
banging, back and forth. Like those shits were making mixtapes. Like I remember hearing back and forth on like hip hop mixtapes.
Yeah.
Nobody was playing Brandy on no mixtape. Nobody was playing S&S ain't playing fucking, I want to be down unless it's a blend. Nobody, I don't remember mixtapes. Maybe mixtapes were playing Monica's just one of them days just because it was LL's backseat of my Jeep type thing.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean by like I felt like Aaliyah had more of a street audience than I felt like if we're looking at like the street was Aaliyah, Monica, Brandy. Brandy was always gonna come in last on the street, but then you could say the flip that Brandy was pop. Brandy was always gonna be on top of pop, Monica, then Aaliyah. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I was saying I don't see them having the same fan base because I felt like Brandy was much more pop and Aaliyah was much more street. Same age, but two totally different types of styles.
They did, but they also appealed to the same audience, though. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. As far as women, women, same women were playing Brandy. My fault. I'm thinking like a nigga. That's my bad.
So I think that Chris, and I go.
No, I'm thinking like a nigga. I get it now. The women are all playing them. Gotcha.
The same audience. That's why it was like all of them had this because Aaliyah had. She was more street. The way her image was, the beats, all that kind of stuff. Forget it. Once she came to 1 in a million, got with Tim and all of that, it just took her out of here. You know what I'm saying? But again, I go back to Chris and Mario. I think this is 2007. Chris has grown up a little bit. Mario has grown up a little bit. They're around the same age. So looking at it as a promotion and we are A&Rs, they have the same audience because again, they're the same this. But Chris is a little bit more friendlier to sell than Mario was. You know what I'm saying? Mario is giving you more of what Luther and Freddie and them was giving us because he could really blow. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like Chris.
Mario can really sing?
Down. Yes.
Okay. I did not know. Like I said, I've never heard a Mario album. So that's why I'm just like, I had no idea.
Down. When you saw that verses that they did, that was terrible. That terrible.
Who did he battle? Who did he battle?
It was Ray J. It was
that one.
Even Mario was sitting there like, what is y'all niggas doing? Like, this is terrible. But Mario sat down and people say that. You know what I'm saying? So he has that.
I didn't know.
Got to that board. It's like then you got Trey coming in, switching up his style and getting more sexier. So then the girls are going to him. You know what I'm saying? And so it was kind of hard for Mario afterwards. He kind of got left behind afterwards. After Let Me Love You, it was kind of like, that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Beijing and the hair ain't help either, and the fake beard. That never helps. Beijing is never the answer. For people watching, Beijing is never the answer to getting your career back on point. It isn't the answer. Don't do it.
Yeah, so that kind of hurt me with Mario. I wanted him to, but does he have a classic album? But if y'all, I would recommend y'all go check it out because the Neptunes was part of it, all of that. So yeah.
You said Go? Go is the name of the album we should check out? Go. All right.
Yeah. That, and then if you want to do after that, check out DNA too. But again, does he have a classic album? No. Mm-mm.
All right. Spence, who you got up next, man?
Female MC. Well, MC. I'm not gonna say female MC, but MC. 5 mic ability, but didn't give me a 5 mic album. It's Jean Grae. I don't know if y'all familiar.
Very familiar. Very familiar, man.
Very familiar.
Jean Grae is like, she might be my third. Like if we ask and talk about female MCs, she might be my third MC as far as female.
I ain't mad at that. How many albums has Jean had out? Do you know?
I got like 4 of them. I know I got 4 personally. And I know she kind of left the game and started like writing books and stuff now. Cause she actually has an album out too with a husband. I think it's
with her. Yeah.
What's something Chris? Quelle Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. But Jean Grae, super dope. She got a joint with Ninth Wonder, Genius. She got the joint by herself called This Week. Another joint, Bootleg of My Bootleg. Like, she's just a phenomenal MC, man. She be on songs with Royce and Pharoahe and be right there with him, you know.
Bro, on Ski's 24-hour karate school, there's a joint called Prowler. It's a joint called Prowler. It's Jean Grae, Joel Ortiz, Jay Electronica, and Mos Def. And Jean Grae got my favorite verse on that joint.
Jean is the Phoenix, man.
For people watching, just understand what I just say. And I'm talking, this drop when Jay Electronica is probably at his height. And it's Jay Electronica, Joel Ortiz, Mos Def, and Jean Grae. And Jean sets it off and has the dopest verse in my opinion. So that's how crazy. If you don't know about Jean, that's how crazy Jean is.
Yeah.
What would you say? What do you think? What do you think is what has kept her from making a classic album?
Because she has the ability. I don't know if it's the production. I don't know if it's a team to help her get it together, like executive producer or something. Because she has the ability. Like, she's super smart too. Like, very smart. Very has a comedic personality too.
Yeah.
That comes out like. Yeah, I don't know. I can't pinpoint why though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What you think?
I'm gonna keep going back to something about locking in with that one producer, because I think if you don't lock in with one producer and you don't have a dope executive producer who is able to kind of piece the mill together, you know how, like, think about, I feel like making an album is similar. Like, if I'm at my gig and we're having like a luncheon, we just go to one restaurant and we get everything. You know what I mean? It's like we get Jamaican, okay, get all the rice and jerk and curry and all that. But I feel like putting the album together was like having a luncheon and we're going to get the jerk from here, or we're going to get the mac and cheese from here, and we're going to get the rice and peas from here. You know what I mean? Like, you got it. And most people don't do that. You just go one place and get everything. You know what I mean? So I think that's why it's just so much easier to just lock in with one producer. And I mean, at the time, no, I'm sorry, you got.
She's done it a couple times, but maybe it just wasn't the right one. Like, she did.
That's what I was gonna say. With Knife,
she did a whole one. And again, with this guy, Black Sky, another one. So
right, and I think it's like, it's finding the right person. It's like that dating analogy I gave you. It's like, you know, she's dating different dudes, and it's not. Again, there's not a human being alive in 2018 who, if I told you Nas and Hit Boy are gonna make 4 classic albums, niggas would have called me on crack. Nobody. Again, it's easy to say now. When niggas first heard Nas and Hit Boy was making an album, wasn't nan nigga excited for that shit.
I was one of them, because I was like, Hit Boy?
Yeah.
I was a little like...
Yeah, shit, so was I.
I was like, oh, okay, all right.
So again, you wouldn't have pegged that would have been it, but like you have to do. Like, for instance, this is a personal classic. I'm sure nobody else thinks it is. Rod Digger's classic. This is her All With Knots. Mm-hmm. And this shit is just bananas to me. You know what I mean? It is like, you gotta find that right person to rock with. And again, when Genius came out at that time, Ninth Wonder was probably the hottest producer at the time. Right. So it would be asinine to say, nah, I don't want to work with you, Ninth. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I gotta work with you. You're the hottest producer. You want to work with me? We're gonna do a whole. But again, and again, it's like, if you look at albums like Going Out on Dates, it's like, I gotta date you to only find out like, that really wasn't. And like I said, we see this, and now we hold this against you. Like, oh, nope, that wasn't it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if your parents knew everybody who you dated up until your wife, they may be like, this nigga's a fuck up. Who did I raise? But then you just come home with a wife. It's like, look at my son. Look at all the great shit I poured into him, not knowing this nigga done fucked over 24 different women just to get to this one. And again, we see every album, we see every date. So I think it's just locking in with the right person. I think you don't get that time with the label because you're on a timetable. So you don't get that time to be like, you know what? Let me go. Or the money. Like, what if Gene says, you know what? I'm going to go chill with Manny Fresh for a week and see what's popping. You know what? And then after Manny, I'm going to go down to Atlanta and I'm going to get with such and such. And I'm going to go out to Texas and I'm going to go out to LA. And you really don't have that time to really go and, really just kick it with somebody to kind of feel their energy and everything like that, which I think you have to do. Like, this is why we got those Gangstar albums, because they was together every day. We got these Tribe albums because they was together. We got all these incredible albums because these people were together every day. We got the incredible 80s Spence. Everybody had their own in-house producer. You know what I mean? So Herbie knew what Kid and Play needed, what Kwame needed, what Salt and Pepper needed. Marley knew what Kane needed, what G-Rap needed. It wasn't until we got the Illmatic and we got the, what I call the value mill producers. Give me 2 Swiss Beats, give me 4 Just Blaze, give me 1 Kanye. Like, that's when all this shit started going sideways and shit. We were getting damn near classic. I swear from 88 to probably about 95, we was getting damn near every album was bare minimum 4 mics, if not 4.5. And the majority of those people were all America's Most Wanted, 1 producer, all them Public Enemy albums, 1 producer, all them Kane albums and G-Rap, 1 producer, So to me, like, but it is finding that right producer, So I think that's
let you know how hard it is to make a classic too, though. Like,
yeah, it's like winning. It's like winning the Super Bowl. It's not an easy fucking thing. I mean, as fans, we look back and we're like, "Oh, just catch the fucking ball." Like, well, nigga, I would if it was that easy. I would just catch the ball, but it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? So again, and again, we're not saying anything like that. But the sad part of our reality is people are looked at different if you can't make a classic the same way. Patrick Ewing is not looked at, is not revered if you're not a Knicks fan, as he should be if he had a ring. You know what I mean? I think Akeem, we'd all look back and say Akeem is incredible and one of the greatest ever, but those 2 rings back to back also is like the icing on the cake. I don't know if we talk about Kareem the same way if he never wins a championship or if he loses that year to the Knicks. I don't know. You know what I mean? Barkley's always going to get rid by Shaq. Nigga, you ain't got no ring. Shut the fuck up. You ain't sit your ass down. No matter how great you were. And for people watching, Charles Barkley in Philadelphia, nigga. You know what I mean? And in Phoenix. But yeah, you know what I mean? So it's sad that you are kind of judged by that. But, that's how it is.
Said, again, that's what it's not like we're not playing. It's not like we don't play these albums, and that's not like we don't mess with these people. So like, I know we all keep saying it, but sometimes you got to keep reiterating.
You got to reiterate.
Like,
you got to reiterate.
We mess with these people. They just, they don't have it in there. That's all. Like we mess with Barkley, like we just don't have a ring.
Right. And like Spence said, he owns 4 of her albums. So again, y'all know me. Before anybody can talk shit, you gotta show me what you own. Because if you don't own nothing, nigga, you don't get to have a talk. You ain't invited to this table. Mm-hmm. So you better, if you want to talk shit, you better have something to bring to the table. This one may be shocking, and I got Rakim, but on a solo tip.
Solo. I knew you.
On a solo tip.
I love what you
on a solo tip.
Yeah.
The 18th letter in 97, True Master in 99, the 7th seal in 09, God's Network in 2024, the re-up in 2025. I mean, truth be told, I don't even know if it really was out there like, yo, Eric B and Rakim broke up. It kind of was just like, all right, they ain't really making music together. I'll never forget, I was with my man LG and my man Eric riding down Broad Street, going through Logan. Cosmic Kev put on It's Been a Long Time. And it was like, oh, shit. Yo, that's Rakim on Primo. Oh, yo, like niggas like to this, like, again, this is 20, 30 years ago. And I still remember we're driving through Logan Spence. We're going under the bridge right where the Logan Broad Street line is. And it's like, we going to South Street. Mm-hmm. And he played that. And it was like, yo, yo, if Rakim is with Premier, it's a wrap. Like it's over. And the 18th Letter was a good album, but it wasn't no classic with 2 Primos. Pete Rock had a joint on there, 3 Clark Kent beats. I think Nick Wiz had a couple of joints on there, but that wasn't it. True Master wasn't it. So there's just no way that you would have told me like, yo, Eric B and Rakim are gonna break up, and the God MC, maybe the greatest MC of all time, is gonna put out, what is this, 5 albums, and none of them are gonna be classic? Nah, that's you. There's no way you could have even made me to even imagine that, because now you really got to ask yourself, well, what the fuck was up with when he was with Eric B? You know what I'm saying? What was the difference? You know what I mean? I mean, we know Marley kind of did the first album. Large Pro kind of did the 3rd album. It's kind of still like a mystery who did the 2nd album and everything like that. But, you know, the ones with the 3rd one, Let the Rhythm Hit Him, with In the Ghetto, Let the Rhythm Hit Him, No Omega, that was a lot of Large Pro after Paul C had gotten murdered. All I can say is I just wish Rakim would have just linked up with Primo for that 18th Letter. And again, we're just going right back to getting with one fucking producer. Like, if there's one thing that we keep going back to, because again, I am positive Premier could have been like, I'll clear my schedule for Rakim. Like, I don't give a fuck who album I'm working on. This Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Or even if it was a Rakim, I mean, a Pete Rock Primo album, like half Pete Rock, half Premier. In 97, like, yo, would have been crazy. And again, it's no diss to Clark Kent, God bless the dead, or Nick Wiz, or any other producers, but it just wasn't cohesively a great album to me. And then I felt like it just kept getting worse. Like True Master was the Master was under the 7th Seal, God, it just kept going down. It's just like, and I don't know if it's just Rakim doesn't have nothing to really talk about anymore. I don't know what it is. Like, this is where it's a question mark. I don't know who I will put Rakim in the studio right now to make an album. But to me, I think it needs some executive producing. It needs Rakim, like, talk about some shit, like tell some story, do something. But I don't know. So I got Rakim. And then on the R&B, I don't have a group, but I have an album. I thought the Silk Sonic album was going to be a classic, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? I mean, Leave the Door Open, I felt was everywhere. It was everywhere. And I had to write this down. It came out March 5th, 2021, which is crazy. Like, that shit is 5 years old. That came out, and we didn't get the album until I think December, like 8-9 months later. You know, and I remember waiting for it, like, yo, we're like, how do you drop this song and don't give us the album right away? And I mean, I think the album is good. It's a strong 4-mic album, but I really, after that, Leave the Door Open. JR don't fuck with it at all. But after Leave the Door Open, this nigga laughing. You know, JR though, this nigga don't play poker with this nigga. He gonna be laughing.
I knew it was gonna be bullshit when we got skate. I said, okay. Yep, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I was like, it's gonna be bullshit. I was like, this dry ass shit. I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. Like, he got some joints on there. Don't get me wrong. Like After Last Night, that's my joint with Thundercat. That's my joint. Shit.
Yeah, the joint. The other joint, the one with Bootsy Collins is dope.
Yes.
But again,
yes.
I just thought it was gonna be a 5-mic album, and it wasn't. And to have us wait 8 months, you know, for a good album, because that, I mean, maybe 3.5 to 4 mics tops was kind of fucked up. But that's what I got. JR, who you got up next?
This clown, even though, you know, I like him or whatever, and he's from Jersey and all of that, I'm Jaheim.
I was just, when you said Jersey, I was like, all right, Ja.
Yeah, Jaheim. When he came out with Ghetto Love, and you know,
bruh,
he's from New Brunswick, which that's where we're at, right? So obviously, and we know him, so we were like really kind of rooting for him. So Ghetto Love, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? All right, this is the intro to him, just in case anything, you know, could it be? It was like, all right, cool. So
Could It Be was so crazy, man.
Wasn't it? Oh,
Could it be? Oh, and the video was crazy too, man.
Crazy. So then it was like, when he came with Still Ghetto, I was like, I was like, all right, maybe he'll realize it on Ghetto Classic. Still didn't get that. I was like, I'm never gonna get a 5 mic from this dude. And maybe
now KG doing all his production?
No, not all of it.
Okay.
Not all of it. Like once he when he got, I'm trying to think, the first album, was it all KG? I think so. I think it was all KG the first album, because obviously he had no money like that, and it was all Divine Mills. But when he got Still Ghetto, I think it was KG, it was Eddie F. He did some stuff on it, but then after that, it was kind of like, Jaheim kind of went on his own, but KG probably was like, yeah, he's a freaking jerk, so whatever. But I wanted him to win because he could sing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really could sing, and, it just bothers me because we had, like, run-ins with him, and my grandfather cussed him out, to be honest. And, yeah, he cursed Jaheim out bad. And because he was at a gas station where it was close to the house, a crib or whatever. So, this was the first time. And, we went in and whatever. And, Jaheim was in a white Mercedes-Benz. I'll never forget. He wasn't driving it. So we should have knew that then. But he's sitting on the side and whatever. And I guess he wanted to feel like, he wanted people to kind of run up to him and like, he's this guy. And it was just like, hi. I was just like, yo, what's up, Jaheim? Like, I'm not running up like no face, because nigga, you ain't that large yet, first of all. So he didn't speak.
A what?
But nope, he didn't say a word. He was just like, yo, what's up, Jaheim? Kind of looked at him.
Now, you were shorty at this time. You were shorty.
Yeah,
you were shorty, right?
This is the first album, yes. This is first
So you
album.
like what, 8?
No, this is 2000. I'm 16 when he first came out with his album.
Oh, nigga, I don't know, nigga. You like 5. I don't know how old you are, nigga.
2001, I'm lying. 2001.
See, exactly.
No, I'm 15. Sorry,
right.
Yeah, I was 15. So we come out.
Time travel too. So
right, exactly. We don't know what fucking century you in right now, nigga.
So we come out and we tried to speak again, and my grandfather was like, "That's why you're never gonna fucking win." He said, "You don't treat people like that at all." And he said, "You should be wearing a fucking suit anyway, or how the fuck you sing." He said, "Who the fuck wearing that corny ass do-rag? Take that shit off."
Man.
Like, my grandfather went in on him, and then we left. So then the second time we saw him, this one I was like, I'm done with Jaheim. We saw him in the Pathmark Mall, He's rocking out. And it was me, my mom, my cousin, and my grandmother. And my mom works with his uncle. So it was like we kind of knew him, but whatever. So we saw him, and my cousin was like, "Oh my God, Jaheim." He ran from us, dog. And it was like, we're not running after you. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm like, from that
he on that Bow Wow joint when Bow Wow was in the crowd, and he was like, "Yo, wait till people see it's me." And it was like,
right.
Dude, give a fuck about you, nigga.
Right. And first of all, you're in Edison. First of all, you're in a white town any freaking way. You're in Edison, New Jersey. Ain't nobody really know you. You're us right now. So this is now we done had tablets is out. A woman's worth is out. Woman's work or whatever it is. And that was out. And then he ran from us. And we looking like, what he running for? Because we ain't running after him. Like, no. And I said, from that moment, fuck him. But the music is still cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, I wanted him to win, but he still don't got no 5 mic classic for real. Like when he came to Appreciation Day in 2013, I think that's the closest to me that he will ever get to a 5 mic album to me. But I give it a 4. You know what I mean? And it was actually my favorite album of 2013, to be honest. But is it a 5 mic? No, not at all. But yeah. And now you see people coming out. Like Selena talked about him, KG talked about him. Like he's not right. You see the joint he did with the dogs and shit. Like he's nuts. Like when he came to the Whitney Houston funeral like that, I was like, in that purple suit, nigga, take your ass home. Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
what did he do with the dogs?
He left them unattended, and this is like the second time that he got caught up with like the dogs were they wasn't feeding them and they were sick, and he had them and they ran up in his house twice, and they locked him up for it. So now he got some issues. Nigga can sing down, but fucking nuts. But it is what it is. But I want him to have a classic out because he came from the crib. So it's like, yo, you know him. You see him on this. It's 2001. It's like, oh, this brother's giving us what we missed with Luther and it. But he's young. We can look at him and be like, he looks like us. So it was like, all right, bet this is gonna work. Dude got braids in his hair. You know what I'm saying? Jeans, Timbs. This is gonna be great. But it didn't work out that way. So.
All right. Who you got up next, Spence?
I don't know if y'all want to agree with this one, but I got Pharoahe Monch solo and album.
Okay.
And I think he was close with the first solo joint. Like he was right
Desire.
there.
I mean, not Desire. Internal Affairs. Internal.
Yeah, he was close with that one. And like I said, 5 mic ability. Just don't have a classic album. Even you hear him on Organized Confusion. Phenomenal MC.
Right. Yeah.
Can touch different topics, different flows, everything. It just didn't happen. But like you said, Eternal Affairs is close, super close. Super close.
That's the one that like gets the 5 mics for me. But I could see anybody having that at 4.5 or even a 4.
Yeah, I got like 4.5.
Yeah, Desire is like, and it's like it's an MC who I root for because I love Monch. But like outside of Internal, I was kind of like, that's it. You know what I mean? And sometimes I wonder with Pharoahe is just like, is he just too complicated for niggas?
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Stuff sometimes.
Yeah, like maybe it's just, but I love how I think one of the amazing things Pharoahe does, just to give some love through these projects, how he interweaves the gun violence through all of them. Damn, you know what I mean? How like, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. And even the rock joint that he put out.
Jill Scott, the joint he got with Jill Scott singing.
Yeah, Still Standing. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, talking about his asthma. Yeah. I mean, Monch is definitely incredible. So I definitely could see that. Last boy I got like a tie just because one of these things is a classic in my opinion, but is it really a classic because is it really his? But I got Elzhi. And the Preface in 08, Elmatic in 11, Lead Poison in 2016, 7 Times Down 8 Times Up 2020, Jericho Jackson 2018, and the joint he just had with Georgia and Meldrew 2022. To me, the classic is Elmatic. I love Elmatic, but I'm like, it's kind of Nas's Illmatic in a way. So that's where like the asterisk is on that. And I don't know what it is with Elzhi. Maybe it's similar to Pharoahe that they're so intricate and everything like that maybe the shit does go over my head. I don't know what it is, but you know, I just felt like Elzhi would definitely be an MC that I'm like, he gonna have at least one, because I feel like it's so close to the NBA. Like, even if you just have one ring, that gets you in the conversations. You know what I mean? You can't be told to shut the fuck up no more. Like, even if Shaq got 6 and you only got 1, it's still like, nigga, we still going to this. We still got the same invitation. We still going to the same party. So I felt like Elzhi would have at least one because he's such an incredible and phenomenal MC. And he doesn't. And because the Elmatic is kind of an asterisk, I had on the other side, and this is where I think a lot of people may disagree, similar to what I did with Pharoahe Monch, is Mos Def. I don't think Mos has a 5 mic classic. I know most people think Black on Both Sides is, so you got Black on Both Sides in 99, The New Danger 2009, True Magic 2000. I'm sorry, The New Danger was 2004, True Magic 2006, The Ecstatic 2009, and then Negus in 2019. So like you said, like you have Black on Both Sides. And it's funny because they both kind of came out at the same time, because at the time I was still at 889, and me and my man Jace went down to the Rawkus office to pick him up, and it was just so dope that Rawkus was dropping Most Def. I think he dropped one week and then Pharoahe dropped the next, or vice versa. So it's funny that I got Pharoahe with 5 and you got Most with the 5. But yeah, for me, when I first heard Most Def, probably the first time I really heard him, I think I heard him on the Bush Babies, but the first time I really, really heard him was Black Star, and I was like, oh, this nigga's a fucking star. This nigga just, I remember after Big passed, I was like, oh, Most is next. Like, that's the next one right there. And so I was thinking I'd be sitting here 27 years later saying Most has multiple albums, classic albums. And like I said, I don't think he does. And then for R&B,
my fault. Do you think Black Star is a classic? Do you think Black Star is a classic?
Oh God, nah, I can't give it. I can't give it classic. It's like 4.5, and I know. To me, those are the ones, because I know some people do. It's right there on the edge, but it's something about it that keeps it from getting that 0.5 mic to just put it over the top. What do you think?
It's teetering. Yeah. I love it. I mess with that album heavy too. And like I said, even if it's not a classic,
right? It's still an incredible album.
Yeah. Because I don't want people to get twisted. You know how it is.
Right.
Like if it ain't.
And I love that and I love the fact how Most came with Sean J. Period and Talib came with High Tech, and it was kind of like both their producers produced the album. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we're gonna do that. So I thought that was incredible. JR, I don't know what you think about this. I got Monica. I don't believe Monica has a classic album. She has the 8 albums: Miss Thing, The Boy's Mine, All Eyes on Me, After the Storm, The Makings of Me, Still Standing, New Life, and Code Red. Crazy thing. I know somebody out there watching is like, Monica had 8 albums? Yeah, Monica had 8 albums. To me, none of them are classics. Great songs on them. Great albums. You don't even got great songs. God damn, JR going for the jugular.
No. I'm saying, ooh, so you not saying she have a classic album, period. Wow.
Which one do you think is classic?
Her debut.
Oh, the Miss Thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's her best to me.
Yeah, I agree that's her best.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's classic for me. And
right.
Then it's like that next album, they tried to brandy her. And that's why That Boy Is Mine, it did. She don't even celebrate the album like that. So you know what it is. You know what I mean? She goes from that to Miss Thing to After the Storm. You know that, then The Makings of Me.
To me, after Miss Thing, After the Storm to me is probably, to me, my favorite album after Miss Thing.
That. And then I like Still Standing too. I like that record too.
Still Standing is I love that joint. Again, I don't know. I'm always intrigued as like, is it production schedules? Like, just let Missy produce all of After the Storm. Like, just
I agree.
Let her go crazy. Just let Missy go. And all I can assume is you don't have the time, or Missy, or you don't got the budget. Like, something had to just be like, why don't, if we cooking this shit up and it tastes this good, why are we gonna stop? Like,
I think with Monica too, I think she wants that Brian Michael Cox, and that's who her and him.
Adonis, yep.
And her and Missy and Adonis, right?
But even that, and split it down the middle. Missy gonna do half, Brian Michael Cox and Adonis gonna do half, or do something like that. But again, I think when you start just grabbing little pieces, it's like, and you're trying to make a meal, like, and that's how hard it is. Where it's like I said, you just want to get your caterer to come in, and we catering the food. This is everything. You ain't gonna go to one spot to get the mac and cheese, and one spot to get the chicken, and one spot to get the mashed potatoes, and then one spot. And that's how hard it is. I mean, imagine how hard that is, putting together a great meal for people, trying to, just grab one from here. Not saying it's impossible, but I just think it's much harder to do than if you just lock in with one good person. Like, me and T, one of our things is just trying different foods in the area, and trying, me and Nate, when I go to UMD, we're always like, we gotta try something new. And again, it may take us 6 places till we find a spot that we really fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's the same thing. You're going through this process of trying to find somebody you who can make that sound. But in doing that, I mean, if let's just say Hit Boy is Nas is like that's his person. What it took Nas what fucking 12 albums to find that nigga? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and how many people get 12 albums in their career?
True.
Because that Nasir that Kanye did, again, me and fucking North are the only two people who liked that album. Everybody else said the shit sucked. You know what I mean? So if everybody just wrote off Nas after that and didn't want to hear shit, again, so I just think it can take time for you to find that person. You know, it's why you see some people don't get married until they 50s and they 60s. You know, because it took them that long to find their person. Like, it's hard. And JR, I'm interested about this. Jagged Edge, I don't have them with a classic album.
Oh, really? Not any Heartbreak?
No.
I mean,
J.E. Heartbreak? Nah. It's close. It's right there. It's because you got Jagged Edge in 92, J.E. Heartbreak in 2000, Jagged Little Thrill in 2001, Hard 2003, Jagged Edge in 2006, Baby Making Project 2007. What the fuck is this called? The Remedy in 2011 and J.E. Heartbreak 2 in 2014. J.E. Heartbreak is right there for me, but it's not a classic. 11 albums again. I know somebody is shocked that Jagged Edge had 11 albums. It's kind of bugged to me how many albums some of these groups have out. Like 11 albums. But again, I'm not mad at J.E. Heartbreak, but for me, it just, you know, I expected at least one because I felt like, yeah, they was kind of like a Jodeci knockoff, but I felt like they were still original in their own right. Whereas like Cisco kind of sounds like KC. I never looked at Jagged Edge sounding like Jodeci. They just tried, and maybe they didn't try. Maybe they are thug niggas. I don't fucking know. But you know, just having the whole Timberland baggy JR, like yeah, they are. Just having that Jodeci look. So I was hoping for at least one. But yeah. So
yeah, J.E. Heartbreak. I think when you think about Jagged Edge, to be honest with you, you talk about them, everybody goes to that album. To be honest. That's the album. Everybody be like, that's them. Boom. You know what I mean? After that, it's singles for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think as a body of work, everybody go to that. I will go to the classic, but I'm not mad that you don't. Like you like it's
I mean it's right there. It's a 4.5. It's like
enough.
It's just
enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, you ain't calling trash. Now you would have been like, it's nowhere like that. What you got for your last one, JR? All right, I got one, and I'm going to see them tomorrow. And I'm talking about the lead singer.
It's either new. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I know who's in town. So
I'm talking about Ralph. He does not. Everybody else.
How many albums does he have?
Ralph got 3
solo albums. 3.
Really?
Okay.
3, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait a second. You're going to see them again? You just went to see them in Baltimore.
Yep, I'm going to see him again.
This nigga don't play, man. I'm coming to work where you at. Where this nigga be going to 2 concerts in 2 different cities. This nigga went to see him in Baltimore. Wait a second, nigga. I know who in town tomorrow. You just was up in Baltimore with them niggas.
They gonna be in Philly on Sunday.
You going?
My wife and her friends going.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
That nigga said, I'm good, nigga. I'm watching the games.
Now, y'all know I defend Ralph's debut. Anybody, I will defend it on down. Now,
this is why I'm shocked. For people watching, this man has come to my house and had dragged down arguments with me about Ralph's first album that I actually love. I love Ralph's first album. You know what I mean? Last night, oh my God, man. Come on, man. There's some bangers on there.
But does he have a 5 mic like everybody else does? No. I will be a fool to say that his debut is a 5. Now, is Sensitivity a 5 mic record? Absolutely. And if somebody don't like it, we fighting. I'm throwing hands. So at the end of the day, but is that, does he have one? No. You know what I mean? Like, Ralph is supposed to be the front man of a group, and that's just what it is. Everybody else has a classic album. Bobby has it, BBD has it, Johnny has it, but he doesn't. He got a classic song. Well, classic song. He got some other classic records too, but yeah, Ralph doesn't have a classic album. But I will still defend the debut, but no, it's not. Nah. Like, right, I've argued with Kill and all that kind of mess. And Kill loves it.
Yeah, I absolutely love that first album, man.
Yes, but no. That's why I was gonna say that one for the end, because I was like, everybody know I've been on I defend it, but is it a 5 mic? No, absolutely not.
All right. Spence, who you got for your last joint?
Another MC that I mess with a lot. Kill's favorite MC.
I gotta hear this.
Murs.
Yo, the wild, y'all know the jokes about me and Murs. The only thing I know about Murs is that nigga's hair. That's all I know about that nigga, man.
Oh my god.
No, I actually messed with Murs. Like, I got put onto him. I don't know if you know where Stanton, Cheltenham, and Ogons meet at.
Hell yeah.
All right, now it used to be a record store, like a mixtape store, like probably like in the 2000s, something like that, early 2000s. And this boy that worked there, he put me on to Murs, and he put me on to the gang. Well, he was calling him Chuck Taylor at the time.
Okay.
So, he keep telling me about this Murs dude, so I said I'm gonna check him out. And this was like right before he got with Ninth Wonder, and I was like, he cool. But when I heard him with him and Ninth got together, that's when I kind of started messing with him a lot. And like I said, he pretty dope MC. I like him.
Now Murs is from Oakland, right? He's from Oakland,
he's
right?
He's from the LA, Cali area. I don't know exactly where at, but he's from the Cali area.
Okay.
I think he's a dope MC. You know, he don't have no 5
yeah, no, Murs is dope.
Yeah, he don't have no 5 mic classic or nothing like that. But I mess with him heavy up. I mess with Murs heavy.
Yeah, that's dope. Anybody got any extras left over?
Yeah, I got another one. It's a controversial one for you, probably, Kill.
What you got?
Phonte solo. I like that album.
Yeah, that
is a classic.
Oh, the joint's sitting right here on the floor, man. I don't even got to reach for it, man.
I listen to it like twice a day again to like see if I'm tripping. Now it's very dope. Like some of the beat switches on some of them joints, the things he talk about. I didn't give it the 5 mic though. I didn't give it.
Nah, here's the thing, bro. This joint to me, I think is just a very personal. I would almost call it a personal classic. Like, I don't think it's. Well, I'll say this. I know the people who love Phonte think the first album is a classic too. Charity Starts at Home. Me too. But I don't think it's a classic. I don't think that's a classic.
Okay.
I think with just me, I just love this because it was just kind of like Expensive Jeans. It was, and I always tell people this. It was this, Royce's album, Book of Ryan, and Black Thoughts, all dropped at the same time. And for me, it was just these 2 albums. This and Royce's was just so personal. Like when he's talking about Expensive Jeans and he's like, got to do something to get a CPAP. And I'm like, I wear a CPAP or blah, 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 blah. You know, the joint where he's talking about burying his father, what's it called? Cry No More. Like, So I think for me, it was just a real personal album at the time. Do I think this or the average person is going to say this or Book of Ryan is a 5 mic album? Probably not. But I just think where I was at, it was kind of like, this is the type of music I want and I need right now. Music that is actually saying something versus Black Thought, who's just, off to the races, a mile a minute, just spitting, which is cool. But again, for where I was at. So yeah, I don't imagine most people have that as a 5 mic album anyway. So yeah, I can totally see it.
It's a super dope album, man. It's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope. And I think now too, and I think that's been the big topic too, last couple of weeks. It's kind of hard to rate a classic the way we used to, because we don't listen to things the same. We used to hit cars, you go to the parties. Now everybody hear this on their own. You don't hear stuff out as much no more. So it's a different way we judge classics now.
Yeah. Nah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, man. Like I said, just to be like, yo, me and my man LG and Eric was in the car, and we, like you're not gonna have those kind of stories anymore. Because, like you said, just at our age, 9 times out of 10, we're hearing it sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? Or you're hearing it in the gym, or you're hearing it, like you're not gonna hear it, but so many places. Not too many people our age are gonna be like, yo, I was in the smokehouse getting smoked out, and niggas, the DJ was playing. Like, nah, it's like I was probably home, I was in the car, I was in the gym. It ain't been so many places you're gonna hear new music at anymore. JR, you got any extras laid over?
Nah, I think I said all mine. I want to end it with Ralph.
All right,
yeah, what you got?
Do you think Naughty by Nature first album is a classic?
I personally don't, and I'm sure I'll get thrown off the bridge for that. You know what I mean? But I think I honestly, to be honest with you, bro, I probably haven't listened to that whole album in years. Okay. You know what I mean? Incredible songs on there. Shit. I mean, keeping it a buck, bro, I probably can't even name you all the joints off that album outside of OPP, Ghetto Bastard, Yoke the Joker.
Wickedest Man Alive.
Wickedest Man. Oh man, Wickedest Man Alive. Yeah, you think it's? I mean, I'm not.
1, 2, 3.
God damn. What do you think?
God, dude. Man, me and my man was going back and forth with today, and I was like, I think they have classic songs. If somebody said it was a classic, I wouldn't be mad.
Right.
I don't have mad.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's how I am, and I think for people watching who aren't our age yet, over 50, at a certain point, it's not even worth arguing about. I remember being in college and somebody being like, Jay is my number one and Nas is my number two, and niggas literally getting into fist fights. I'm like, yo, niggas, it's 1 and 2. What the fuck? Like, and at my age, I'm like, well, if you don't have such and such in your top 10, then it's like, damn. But I mean, if you got Jay at number 1 and I got him at number 5, I mean, it's still in the same radius. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, like you said, I wouldn't be mad at nobody who thought it was a classic, but, I personally don't think it was. And I just swear, I feel sometimes I would love to just like go back, not in a time machine to like be there, but I would love to like, in the movies and those Christmas movies with the spirit of Christmas past and all that, like you can go back and I would love to go back and see the conversations I was having with my niggas in 1990, because we weren't using the word classic. You know what I mean? Like at all. It wasn't even in our vocabulary. So what were we saying? Because I can't remember what we were saying, but it wasn't classic. You know what I mean? We weren't rating things, even though the source was out, we weren't rating things 5 mics. So I would love to just go back and kind of just see like, okay, what were we talking about? Okay, boom, I'm on Morgan's campus. It's 94. Illmatic just dropped. What are we saying about that? Or, I'm back in 88 and I'm in 9th grade and in Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation just dropped. What are we saying about this? What are the words we're using to describe these albums? Was it just as simple as, yo, this shit is dope? Was it just as simple as that's my shit? Like, because now it seems like everything is so intricate, and I really believe that going way back, shit was just simple. Like, we was like, yo, this album dope as shit, nigga. And that was it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, is it 5 mics? Is it 4 mics? What you give it? Classic, near classic.
Well, you gotta hear this, John.
Right, exactly. That was the thing. You gotta hear this, John. Right. Let me get a dub of that. Let me get a tape of that. Like, but I know we weren't. So again, I would love to just go back to see like, yo, what were the words that we were saying to talk about these albums with our friends? Like when we first heard The Chronic, what were we saying? You know what I mean? When we first heard, Deep Cover and saw the video for it on Rap City, where did we go to school the next day? Like I think it's like you said, like, yo, you got it. Yo, you heard the new Dre and Snoop? Yo, you gotta hear this. Like that is what it was. And now we're at the place of classic and 4 mics or 3 mics or 5.5, 4.5, or, I was on Twitter the other day and the boy was like, yeah, it's 5 mics, but it's not a classic. And I'm like, well, what's your definition? Because I don't know which you like is a 5 mic album, but it's not a classic. Then what would it is a classic 6 mics? Like, so again, I just feel like Wu-Tang said, can it all be so simple? Back in the day, it was just like, yo, this shit is dope. You gotta go hear this shit. And that was that. You know. Even when Mary's My Life dropped, when we knew about, I don't know if we were all like, it was a classic. It was like, yo, this shit just special.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say that.
It's special. Yeah.
Yeah, this shit just good, man. Yo, you heard this new Mary? Man, whew. Yeah. Like, that's it. Like, it wasn't even about, it's 5 mics. Is this better than Monica's debut? Or it wasn't is it better than that? It was just like, yo, this Mary joint special, bro. You got to hear this.
We heard like hearing the brand Nubian first joint. We was like,
right.
This boy Pooh-Bah, what the
right.
He was going crazy off it.
I'll never forget, Spence, and I went to a college fair at the Civic Center in West Philly, and I had that tape in my Walkman, just listened to it the whole day, and it was just like, yo, man, Spence, you got it. You got the tithes and offering this week, because it simply was, yo, you got to hear. I remember taking my headphones off and giving to my man Rob, like, yo, you got to hear this. Yeah. Like, yo, you listen to that on the way back home, but you got to hear this. Like, that was it. And that's what a 5 mic classic was to us, was if you heard a nigga say you got to hear this, then you knew it was dope. Or my man Cool DJ Frank would call me like, yo, get over my crib. You got to hear this. You got to hear this new Daylight, ring, 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 when he got to 12, and she was like, you gotta hear this new Daylight. You gotta hear this D'Angelo shit damn motherfucker joint. Like, it was that, like, you gotta hear that. That's exactly what it was, is you gotta hear this. That need to be the name of somebody's album. You can send the proceeds Spence way right there for that joint. You gotta hear this. That need to be somebody's album. The only extras I got real quick, Craig G. When Molly came out with In Control, with Dropping Science and Duck Alert, at that point, Craig was real big in Queensbridge, and I thought it was going to be crazy. He dropped his first album, The Kingpin, which was kind of on that hip house shit. And then he had this joint called Now That's More Like It. And it very dope album. I love Now That's More Like It. Probably one of the rare people who love that album, but again, personal classic for me, because I was learning how to drive and I kept playing that album. We talked about Evidence, 5 albums, love it. Cats and Dogs is right there, but I don't think that. And To Live Kweli, like, 8 albums, love quality. I really fuck with Beautiful Struggle, Eardrum, Ghetto Rainbows, Prisoner of Consciousness, Gravitas, Fuck the Money, Radio Silence, but I don't think To Live has the 5 mic classic either. So that was it for me. What are y'all banging this week, man? Oh, real quick. This was a conversation on Twitter that Tony had 3 classic albums. I personally believe their last album is House of Music, right, JR?
Yeah.
I think that's a 5 mic classic. Somebody was telling me The Revival was a 5 mic classic. I love The Revival. I don't give it 5 mics, but do y'all think Tony has multiple 5 mic classic albums?
On that one.
I think Sons of Soul is a 5 mic classic for me.
Okay.
Revival, no, because them joints with what's their name? Oh God, what is their name? They did In Vogue stuff. Del Foster and Thomas McElroy. Them joints.
Okay.
And House of Music. Do I give that 5 mics? Ugh. I give that a 4. So do I think they
have one.
Maybe a possible, yes.
All right, no doubt. What are y'all banging this week? JR, what you listening to?
What am I listening to this week? I've been listening to the Jill joint.
What do you think about it?
It's cool. I like it. I'm really on the Zoe and Tall Black Guy joint. I'm on that.
They dropped something new?
Yeah, they just came out with a joint maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm on Tiana Major 9. I'm on her joint, which I love. Another dude, his name is Sam Henshaw. I'm on to him. Check his album out. And really, I've been on really like some 90 tip for real. Like we did an episode, so I've been on her a lot. Lisa Fisher, So Intense. I'm on that album for real. So that's kind of really what I really been bumping for real. And also the Soul Survivors, which I'll say why I'm doing that at the end. But I was listening to the album When the Whistle Blows, Anything Goes, and that came out in 1967. So I kind of been on that too. So that's what I've been rocking to this week.
All right, Spence, what about you?
Actually, today I was listening to Master Pill released Legend Has It and put all Nas features from all the Legend Has It on one thing. And then going to each song, he talks about the particular song or how him and the artist linked or talked about the artist and then goes into the song. And
where's this at?
It's everywhere now. Apple and everything.
It's Apple? Okay.
And you can actually buy the CD with just the features now.
Oh, okay.
He hooked it up like an old DVD joint, like an old DVD plastic book joint.
I need to go get this shit right now.
And the original, the Omerto is on it. The first version. They released that on streaming services and everywhere too.
Oh, yep. I see it right here. That shit dope.
Yeah, so that's a real good listen. So he talks about how him and Day Live linked up, how him and Ray, talked about Ghost, talked about Prodigy and them, and then they go into the song. So that's a pretty dope joint. Then
that's dope.
Yeah, then I was listening, like I said, I went back and started listening to Phonte a couple more times today. So I was listening to that today. And then there's an underground boy called You'll Like This joint, World Be Free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, World Be Free. It's called From Niggas to God Part 3. And I think it's like the book, From Niggas to God. I think it's like a book series that you can buy. But it's like an underground boy. I was listening to one of his songs on Southern Vanguard Radio. It was like an underground joint that come on Mondays or Sunday nights on Twitch. And they play like this underground stuff. Then I hear a certain song or something. Then I just try to find the album and try to find the artist, see if I like it.
Okay. All right, so, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What you checking out?
Yo, I was about to say, people who know me know I love El Varner, right? And I was watching her live, and then she did this song, and I was like, I don't even know that song. That's what I love about the internet. So I'm going down this rabbit hole trying to find this song. And JR, did you ever hear the album, this joint right here, 4-letter word, the joint that never came out?
Yes.
I've never heard this album. So
never? So you're just getting into it.
I'm just getting into it, and I'm loving this album. Me and Nate love El Varner. I think El Varner is like one of, and I'm not trying to big her up or not like that, but what I love about El, I think El is one of the most slept on writers in the game, because I love Elle because she Elle has a song on here, and I mean some of these songs they were released: Rover, Cold Case, Don't Want to Dance, Fuck It All. Why I love Fuck It All is because I feel like somebody else would have felt that way and been like, yo, what's another way for me to say fuck it all, because I can't say fuck it all. Whereas Elle is just like, fuck it all, so I'm gonna write a song called Fuck It All. Like, that's what I love about her. Because somebody else would be like, well, come on, we can't make a song called Fuck It All. How we gonna market that? And be like, all right, we'll call it Forget Me Nots or some shit like that. It's like, no, Elle is gonna write what she wants to write. And like, and that's what I love about the R&B music. That's what I love. Like, JR, what you were saying about Mario, like, give us more of what's going on with your mom. Like, I love that you could tell on this album, Elle was, I want to say this is when she was going through the breakup with maybe Amon Shumpert, because a lot of people don't know that she used to fuck with Amon before Tiana. It may have been somebody else before Tiana.
No, it was before Tiana, and then it was Tiana after that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you could just tell from the music, from Cold Case to Fuck It All to just all these things, and that's what I love about Elle. So I'm just hype about that. I only found it last night, so I'm still banging that. But other than that, JR, like you said, for me, I've just been the Jill album. I've been into the Jill. What else is this? Jill. And this shorty Sasha Keeble. You fuck with her, JR?
Never heard.
Sasha Keeble. Check her out. Naomi, that's why I love having a kid. She put me on to it. It's this shorty right here. Let me see.
Shakiba. Okay, I think I found her.
Yep, her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a banger. She's got a banger on there with Leon. God, what's my man?
Leon Thomas.
Leon. I'm always about to say Leon Ware. That's my problem. Leon Ware is etched in my head.
I do that
so
too.
I'll be like, as soon as I say the word Leon, it's Ware. It's like now I gotta make it Leon Thomas. But check her out. She's London Shorty, who's real dope.
Okay.
So yeah, Sasha Keeble, check her out. And what else? I think that's kind of it for me between those two. With Jill, yeah, that's kind of it, man. But definitely looking forward to this Glenn Lewis joint. So prayerfully that'll be dope. And for people who fuck with Glenn Lewis, go find Chasing Goosebumps. I don't know if it's on Apple streaming. Is it, JR? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is.
Okay. But if not, it's out there. Go to YouTube. It was so dope about this. It was right after the Super Bowl. Jazzy Jeff got all these producers and a touch of jazz boys, got them all together. And in a week, they started recording Sunday after the Super Bowl. It is on Apple Music.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, go check that from Sunday, basically Monday to Sunday. They recorded this album, mixed it, did everything, and put it out just to kind of show the industry like it doesn't take years to put together a great body of work. You can even YouTube some of it. They were live streaming it while they were recording it. So if you really fuck with Glenn Lewis, check that out. Spence, where can they get at you, good brother?
88 Spence, Twitter and IG.
All right. And again, always shout out to Spence. He comes down once a month to volunteer with my kids. He was in there. What was y'all cooking last week? Last time you was down?
Oh yeah, stir fried. Chicken stir fried.
Yeah. We have a partner. God, what's the name? Something Coffee. I'll shout her out next time. My homegirl Erica. She comes in and she's teaching my kids how to cook. All this week they were doing cheesesteak egg rolls. She kept coming in saying, "We making steak and cheese egg rolls." I'm like, "No, we don't do that here. We don't. Not in the presence of a Philly nigga. Those are cheesesteak egg rolls, you know." But she was teaching all my kids how to make cheesesteak egg rolls. So always shout out to Spence. It's to the point I had to leave early. Spence still there volunteering with my kids. I done left the building and Spence there with my kids. So I appreciate that, bro. JR, where can they get at you, man?
Just get it. Me and JR Relisot on Instagram. The R&B Reps on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. We're on there. I'm back now with my new series. It's The Sound of Philadelphia, according to JR. I'm making 50 records. This is dope. My first episode will be out when you put this out. So I did The Soul Survivors. That's why I was listening to them. And I did Expressway to Your Heart. That song is very important to Philly International Records. So I did a 5-minute video about it, behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really good. Back into that again. Our latest episode of Catch that's out will be Carl Thomas Emotional, which was a dope episode. And we did a fan culture episode with Jay, a young guy that we met on Twitter, and he did Roger Troutman, and that was a fan episode. It was so dope, and the questions we asked for him to be young, and it's crazy. It was a dope episode. We got into a really great conversation about Roger. So fan culture is popping. When Elise gets back, because she's on vacation. So when she gets back here, she's definitely getting back, because I keep pushing her to getting back into these 1-minute joints. Because I was like, it's brilliant the way you did that. So she's getting back into that. And our subscribers are going up. We have 4,000 subscribers now. So thanks for the love and sharing and all that good stuff. So we really appreciate it. But yeah, just follow us at the R&B Reps on Instagram, Twitter, and find us on YouTube. Just search the R&B Representative and we'll come right on up. So
that's dope. Real quick before we leave, who are your top 5 people who don't have a ring? And they don't have to be in order. Yeah, whoever. Spencer, who you got?
AI, Penny.
Yep.
Tracy, Barkley. I gotta think on the fifth one.
All right,
But
JR, who you got?
Penny, my guy though.
AI,
Oh yeah,
Penny, Ewan, Charles Barkley, and he's my fave. So I'm throwing out there John Starks for me. Those are mine.
John Starks.
All
right.
Jimmy Butler is my guy too.
Jimmy
Butler.
Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
All right. And I got Ewan Barkley, as much as I hate to say it, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Reggie Miller. Those are the 5 for me. So yeah, that's what I got. And for me, y'all know it is Kill889, Twitter, IG. I'll check y'all next week, good peoples.